to my channel. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Excuse the bathrobe, please. I am just getting ready to leave the house, so I just wanted to film this intro really quick because I've just finished filming the rest of the first part of the video. So basically today I am doing a hopefully short and sweet demo and wear test with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I have the shade Porcelain because it's a fair warm toned foundation, so that's what we're going with today. I think this is the lightest shade they offer. I picked mine up at Walmart. It was about $5 something a bottle, so definitely under $6 Canadian, which is pretty sweet. A few things about this first: it does have a very strong aroma. Some people, I've watched a few other YouTube videos and some people are likening it to the smell of like a strong paint. I agree. That being said, it really doesn't linger. Like, I've been wearing this makeup for about 20 minutes now and I don't smell anything. So I don't know if my nose has just adjusted or if it truly does just go away after a little bit. Either way, it really doesn't bug me. I have very sensitive skin, so I have worn this once before and I didn't notice that the fragrance in it affected my skin in any negative way. The other thing I do want to mention is that I lighten this foundation. So the first time I wore it just straight out of the bottle, and while it looks really, really nice on my skin, it's almost a perfect match straight out of the bottle. It does oxidize after about, I don't know, I would say like 45 minutes to about an hour afterwards. It gets very warm. So not orange, but just warm, and that won't work for me. So I lighten this. I'll show you what I use to do this later on in the video. If you've watched any of my earlier videos, or previous videos I should say, you'll probably have a good guess at what I'm going to use to lighten this foundation, and I find that that works very, very well. This is what it looks like and I think it's a good match. Okay, today I'm applying it with a brush. In the past I've applied it with the one other time I used it, I applied it with a Real Techniques complexion sponge, and I like that. If I didn't have as much to cover up, right now I always get hiccups when I film videos for YouTube. I don't know what it is. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. What am I trying to say? The sponge. I really like it. It gives a really, really natural finish. With this foundation, it works well. The thing is, I need a lot of coverage right now. I have a lot of texture, but that's going away, and I have another video coming up showing you the products I use to get rid of my texture and my acne scarring. But I digress. I apply it with a brush now. Long story short, I'm kind of getting sidetracked because I'm stressed because I've got to leave the house soon. But yeah, I'm applying it with a brush today just because it gives me more coverage. I just wanted to mention that in case I forget to mention it, if I forgot to mention it earlier. But yeah, that's about it. Let's jump right into it because I am rambling. Also guys, before we jump into the video, I would absolutely love it if you could check me out on social media. I will paste my links here, maybe possibly if I'm good enough at editing by that point. I'll also have them in the description bar below. Also, if you feel like subscribing, that would be cool. I'd love to have you guys here and get to know you a little bit better. Alright, let's slap some makeup on this face, even though I have it on right now, but in a second you're about to see my naked face in all of its beautiful glory. Okay, so I've just washed my hair, so don't mind as I let the back pieces finish air drying. I'm just going to clip up my bangs. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of the foundation on the back of my hand using the little spatula, which I quite like, I have to say. What a good idea. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really, really like the applicator in here. So I put about, like, I took one dip out and then swiped both sides of the spatula on the back of my hand. I'm now going to go in with a few of my lightning drops, just a little bit to lighten it up a tad. I'm just going to put some on there, like that much. Can you see that? And then I'm just going to mix it up and let it warm up on the back of my hand. Okay, so it's warming up, which I find just makes application a little bit easier. Now I'm going to go in and do my version of a primer. This is how I do it in the summer because I don't like heavy primers sitting on my skin. When it's super hot and humid out, it just doesn't work for my oily skin. So I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible setting spray, and I'm just going to give my face a good spray. I'm almost out of this actually. Okay, so I am going in and I'm going to apply the foundation. Now I'm going to use my Real Techniques my Real Techniques sculpting brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for applying foundation with. I will say I've used this and I really, really like it. The only thing is I wouldn't recommend applying it with a sponge. Normally I love using my Real Techniques like the orange sponge, but I find that it just doesn't give me enough coverage. It really, like, it applies it nicely, but for me, because I'm looking for a bit more coverage to cover my acne scarring and some active spots I have going on right now, I find that I get more coverage with the brush. So I'm just going to pick some up off of the back of my hand and kind of start in the center of my face and blend out. Sorry, I'm looking down because my mirror is here. Okay, so that's pretty much the coverage that I get on its own. I just kind of went in with one layer, I guess, and then kind of went in and did a second layer where I needed coverage, so just kind of on my cheeks where I have a lot of acne scarring. You can still see some things peeking through. That's okay though, because lately I'm going for a more natural look. I find that while this foundation does a really excellent job at evening up the skin tone, keeping me matte, which is amazing, it doesn't offer the best coverage unless you go in and you kind of give a denser application, but that's okay. That's like most foundations. So now I'm going to go in and do a little bit of concealing and correcting. First, I'm going to take my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. This is in the shade Fair, and I'm going to just correct my under eye circles. They're not looking too bad right now, but I just like to make sure. And then I also kind of just really lightly brush this over any really red spots. This stuff really stays put. I really, really like it. Plus, it's like a thinner formula, but it doesn't slide around. So, I don't know. One of the best drugstore concealers, or correctors, I would say. Okay, so normally at this point, I would go in with my NARS Soft Matte Cream Concealer in the shade, what are you? Chantilly. But we are going to be going to an outdoor, it's like a vintage flea market type thing, and we're going to be there for a few hours, and even though it's going to be a little later in the day, it's really hot and humid today, and I find that I don't know, I just want something a little bit lighter on the skin, so I'm instead going in with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair. And I'm just taking that in a V under my eyes, on my chin, around my nose a little bit, and on my forehead. So now that I look like this, I'm going to take my finger and blend it all out. Okay, so I wanted to bring you guys just a little bit closer to see if you can see what it looks like on my skin. This is the foundation and the concealer and corrector. I don't have any powder on or anything like that. So this is kind of what it looks like. I think it looks really, really nice. And now I'm going to go in and powder. I thought I would show you guys that, and then I'll do the rest of my makeup off camera, just to save time. Okay, so now that the concealer is done, I'm going to go in with another quick spray of this L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. Shake it up a bit. And then I am going to go finish my hair while this kind of sets, and then I will come back and finish the rest of my makeup really quickly for you. And then I'll be doing a few check-ins throughout the rest of my day. So right now we're at 2:30 p.m. and I have more of my workday to do, and then we're going to go out for the evening, and then I will do a few check-ins in between there, and then one at the very end of the evening right before going to bed and washing off my makeup. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and conceal for really hot, humid days, my favorite. And when I said conceal, I meant powder. So on really hot, humid days, I prefer to use the Maybelline Fit Me powder to set my really oily areas like my T-zone, so across my forehead, down my nose, the tops of my cheeks, and my chin. And this is the Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 100 Translucent. So I'm going in with my Real Techniques setting brush, and just to make sure there's no creasing, we'll go over these areas quickly with my finger. now for the kind of outer areas of my face, I'm gonna go in with a slightly more luminous powder, but that also has some really like strong setting power. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I use the shade Light. It's pretty dirty right now. I'm going in with a dense setting brush. I don't know what this is, it's all worn off. Okay, so I thought I would bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what it looks like when it's set with a powder. And I'm going to take away some of the powderiness by going in with a quick mist of my e.l.f. setting spray. I find that works really, really well. Okay, so I'm still in my bathrobe. I'm just about to throw some clothes on, but this is my makeup done. I'm keeping it pretty simple just because we're going to be out and about. It's really humid today and really hot, and I'm mostly going to be sweating, so it's actually a pretty good test to see how long wearing this makeup is. Yeah, so we're going to be out and about. I will try and check back in with you at least twice over the next few hours or so. It's going to be a late one, so it's going to be a pretty true test. So hopefully I'll have it on for about 8 hours or so. And yeah, I will check back in with you once in a while, as well as at the end of the night, and show you how it's looking.